paying attention, there's something you need to hear, problem you need to see from Ms. Neville, you'll be able to watch the recorded lesson. So let's get to work. This week is a very important week. If you follow me on Remind, or if your parents follow me on Remind, you just found out that we have a test this week. Yeah, and it's a pretty big test. It's our first math benchmark. On Wednesday, we're going to spend a lot of time in our live session talking about what you can do to prepare for that test. But it's important for you to know about Ms. Neville, if you don't know this already, that I am going to be preparing you for this benchmark all week. So we're going to spend this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, reviewing some of last week's new concepts and doing some practice problems together. I want to make sure you know we have no live sessions on Thursday or Friday, as those will be the days where you're allowed to work on your test. So as you're working on your test on Thursday and Friday, know that Ms. Neville will be available during our math times if you have a question about the directions, but there will be no live session in math on Thursday or Friday. Any questions there? Please raise your virtual hand now. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to work here. So our PowerPoint for this week is going to be our benchmark review, and that's what I'd like for you to write in your notebooks, okay? And we're going to be doing 3 things in this benchmark review this week. Making sure we understand number lines, absolute value, and graphing on a coordinate plane. You may want to make sure you have a ruler or some sort of straight edge with you. You also want to make sure that you have a pencil and maybe a colored pencil or something when we start graphing with coordinate planes. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure everyone can see my screen. Sorry, Camille, I didn't mean to mute you. Go unmute yourself. Tell me what you need.
I'm in the car, so I don't have like all my materials with me.
Okay. Okay, so benchmark review. So the first thing we're going to be talking about today, in your notes, let's write down comparing and ordering decimals. Comparing and ordering decimals. 1 second, guys, I'm sorry. There we go. Comparing and ordering decimals. We want to make sure we understand that when we have this big decimal here, a decimal represents a part of a whole. So we want to remember our place value here. This is taking it back to 5th grade, but that's quite okay. This is our tenths spot, our hundredths spot, our thousandths spot, and that's all the ones we need to know there. Okay? Tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. It's important for us to know The further we move away from our decimal, the smaller our number becomes. The further we move from that decimal, the smaller our number becomes. So when we're looking at example 1, please take some time to write that down. So let's look at example 1 here. If I have 0.06 or 600 versus 0.6 or 6/10, can someone turn on their mics and let us know which of those decimals is larger? Which of these two decimals are larger?
0.6.
Very good. Yep. Example 2. .006 or 6,000 versus 0.06 or 600. Which one will be larger? Which of these two decimals will be larger?
600.
600. Very good. Okay. So if we had to put these in order from least to greatest, if we had to put these in order from least to greatest, it would be 6,000, 600, and 6/10. Your assignment that you'll be working on today when I dismiss you into your independent practice will have a lot to do with this. Another way for us to look at, I'm going to erase here. Another way for us to look at this is on a number line. So we're going to use these same 3 decimals. Whatever you see Miss Neville drawing, you'll need to draw as well. We have 0 here and 1 here. It's important for us to know that the smaller decimals are closer to 0. Okay? Smaller numbers are closer to 0. And that should be some common sense, but if it's not, we need to make sure we understand that. The closest we get to 0. Guys, I'm going to unfreeze the screen for a second so I can let some kids in. I've heard it ding a couple of times. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully everyone can see the screen now. And we're about to move on with some more examples. Okay. Remember, this lesson is being recorded, so if Ms. Neville goes too fast, that's okay. You'll be able to see this later on. Example 4. Example 4. Which decimal is greater? Which decimal is heavier?
Is it 0.07?
0.071 will be greater than 0.07. Guys, anytime I don't have a number here in this spot, I can write a 0 there. Remember, I could put a 0 here if I wanted to. Which of these numbers is greatest? Think about our rule. The closest a number is to the decimal, the bigger it is. So which of these two numbers is going to be greater than?
80/10.
Very good. And our last example here, example 6, I'm going to ask you to put these 4 digits in order from least to greatest. Put these 4 digits in order. Oh, it's the one there. So which of these 4 numbers here, which of these 4 decimals are the smallest? You should have put 0.7 should go first, then 0.071, then 0.081, and then 0.8. If we're ordering this from least to greatest, this is the correct order here. Take some time to finish writing this down. And then let's talk about your independent practice for today. Today, when I dismiss you, I'm going to be grading your textbook assignments. You'll notice that you've not had any textbook grades go in mainly because I've been giving you lots of time to get used to writing in that textbook. So the grades that you see when I put in your textbook grades, they're going to be permanent zeros. If you have not completed these textbook assignments in 2 weeks, you will not be allowed to make these 2 grades up because you've had a lot of time to get them done. Hopefully, when we get some more textbook assignments assigned to us next week, you'll be able to be on it more so that you can bring your math grade up. Okay? So I'll be grading your textbook assignments today when I dismiss you. So let's talk about what you should be doing today for your independent practice. We're going to go to our math folder. You'll see a brand new pink folder here that says week 13 review for benchmark testing. This is the folder that we're going to be working in for this week, okay? Remember, we only have 3 live sessions this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if you have any questions about anything you're working on, those are the 3 days to really reach out to me before test day, okay? So today when you go in, the first assignment that you'll have there is CFA Practice 7. You're going to have some questions here that you'll need to answer. You'll have 2 attempts to go through them, and you're going to choose the best answers. You're going to choose the best answers. There are 10 questions here. It is my expectation of you that you have this assignment done by tomorrow before class begins at 11:12. It is my expectation of you to have this assignment done before class tomorrow at 11:12. Does anyone have any questions about anything before you're dismissed?